From the African Union's perspective, what should we be expecting? What is the African Union's views and strategy to make sure that all these ideas that we are forming here find their way into implementable actions uh, when the COP28 convenes? Thank you.
Merci, professeur Orama. J'ai écouté effectivement attentivement le président Ruto.
President Ruto,
Et je l'en remercie.
and I thank him.
Je le remercie pour son plaidoyer fort,
I thank him for his strong advocacy, his leadership,
mais aussi et surtout
but also and
pour les
particularly
propositions concrètes
for the concrete
qu'il a mis.
proposals that he has put on the table.
La situation de l'Afrique est connue.
The situation of Africa is well known. The challenges faced by the continent are known.
Les attentes qu'il nourrit
And
sont
the
connues.
expectations that are nurtured
Son potentiel
are
très
known.
important est connu.
Its important potential also is known. The promises made to Africa are also known.
Il y a une importante littérature sur la question.
There is a lot of literature on this matter.
Maintenant, qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire?
Now, what should we do? This is the question.
Il faut d'abord accepter la spécificité
First,
du continent.
we have to accept the specific nature of the continent. 600 million Africans don't even have electricity. It is a continent which is under-industrialized, and then is being asked here and now to bring about the ecological transition. President Macky Sall earlier was saying that we need to follow the rhythm and peculiarity of this continent.
Tout ceci ne pourra être
All this can be possible. Transition, yes, it is important,
encore, il faut créer les conditions pour
but
que cela
we
soit.
need to establish the necessary conditions for it to become possible.
L'Afrique ne vient pas,
Africa is not coming empty-handed.
elle est un réservoir.
It is a reservoir.
Il faut se pencher sur cette question.
So I think we need to
Comment
think of that,
ce potentiel
how this important potential
au bénéfice
may be harnessed for the benefit of its peoples. This is a substantive issue.
les promesses qui sont faites
Are the promises that have been made, including the reform of international financial institutions, and what we have seen in the past, the structural adjustment programs, which for decades had been applied
par les États africains.
by the African states. And I recall,
On parle du Tchad qui est mon
I'm
pays.
talking of Chad, my country.
Et même certaines exportations
We were asked
particulièrement,
even that certain agricultural productivity, particularly rice, they should stop the production and import rice.
ça n'a pas marché.
It did not work. We have to admit
Ça
that.
n'a pas marché.
It did not work.
On est passé par des
Then
programmes
we went
du
to
Programme mondial sur la réduction de la
programs
pauvreté.
of the World Bank, poverty reduction.
Faisons le bilan.
What is the result? Let's take stock. Some countries are now even poorer.
Je n'exclus pas.
And I
Je
do
ne
not
dévoile pas
exclude,
la mauvaise
and I am not condoning poor governance,
pas des responsabilités.
and I am not excluding the responsibilities of the states, but
Les DTS.
the special drawing rights. There was some hope
Sur plus de 600 millions, 650 millions
out of 650 million.
donnés. Je me demande si c'était
We got only, and I'm really
5%.
asking whether this was disbursed,
Est-ce qu'avec
33 million or 33 billion. After a terrible pandemic like COVID, can we really have economic recovery? It is not possible. The Green Fund,
on en a parlé.
we have been told about it. All this within a context of debt servicing,
L'appréciation de la situation des pays qui sont
and then the situation of countries that are appreciated, which are some countries that are considered.
particulièrement par éducation et par les
I'm not a pessimist.
Je n'ai pas le droit d'être pessimiste.
And by the profession, my training, my nature cannot be pessimist. That is why we expect, and from this important conference, and it is very timely, so that around the table with our partners, with the financial institutions, with international organizations and the member states, since the challenge of climate change does not forgive anybody, does not distinguish between African, American, or Indian. I think we are all in the same boat. Let us make sure that this boat doesn't sink. That is a real problem. I'm not a technical expert to go into the various labyrinths of how to market carbon, etc., and all. I think we cannot be just content with promises. Those that have been promises made have never been fulfilled, have never been honored. Let us ask ourselves the real question, and honestly, whether politically we have decided this time to be serious and to be consistent. And thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I think with the kind of enthusiasm we've seen here, the passion and the commitments shown by our leaders, I believe that Africans have had enough. I think everybody now wants to see action because we've